think that is the time for summer vacation, but still, we have a good crowd this morning. I myself have just returned from France and Slovenia yesterday, so just in time for this event, and that's great. But I see so many familiar faces, especially friends of the Harbour Enhancement Committee and, of course, members of the Harbour Commission. But I've missed that, so I'll catch that up later. But I have good reasons to miss that. I stayed in Paris for a few days. It's always good to go back and see how the city changes, its city landscape changes in different aspects of its life, its cultural side, its city planning. Well, I find Paris subway, the metro, and I've not been to all European cities, but I find it the dirtiest. Yes. I hope it does not offend any French hearing this. It's so dirty, and it smells. But then when I walk through the major metro and X station in the new area, La Défense, it's a new area, but still the metro is horrible. But then when I walk inside a shopping mall connecting the metro and the rail station, you realize you're in a different world. This is connecting, it's right connected between the metro railway station and the shopping mall called CNIT. The hotel I stay in is right inside CNIT, and you know immediately you're in a different place. The design tell you, the lighting tell you, the cleanliness tell you, although there's no security guard there, you know you go into a different place and somehow people behave differently. It is a much better area. And then I think, hey, I had shared this experience with the consulting team when we start off this POS exercise, and I have on board, of course, Wallace, who's part of the consulting team, the Rocco Yim design consulting team, and they are doing it in association with Chinese University and Land Elite Surveyor. I also have with me today a member of our Development Bureau colleague, Judy Chong, may I introduce her, as well as Raymond Wu. So talking about key person to this draft guidelines, we have a few important person here. And I share this experience in the Hong Kong example about how we go into different spaces, and that is in an area very close to us now, and that is the connecting area between IFC and the square. I think that is a public passageway connecting the IFC. That is somewhere between Central Market and the Hang Seng Bank building. On a Sunday, we have something very human, very civilized in Hong Kong, and that is our domestic helpers go on holiday, and they're all over different places in Hong Kong. They will stay in the public corridor. They all seated on the ground level, in the public corridor. But they don't. I don't know why they don't like the new area now set us in the Central Market, set aside for display. There are seats there, but they don't go there. They only stay in the public area. You will see our uniformed staff, but I think they are for hawkers control only, not to interfere with the domestic helpers. Activities, how they enjoy themselves and meet with their friends and relatives. Very clearly, they will not venture into the area right next to the public facilities, and that is the passageway connecting the IFC. There may be management agents of IFC coming to the area from time to time, but you do not see them stationed there all the time. Somehow, people know that there are different areas. Some are private, some are public. Some are managed by private agents, and some are managed by governments. And people respect that there are different areas, and they have certain activities in different areas. So that is the experience I have shared with the consulting team when we started this consultancy, we have mooted on this consultancy for some time, but actually the draft guidelines was issued late last year and early this year, and we started the few months consultation. Having public open space in private development is not new at all. The policy has been in force for decades. I'm sure the architects, the planners of this world will tell us that it has been part of our lease and deed of dedication regime for a long time. And whenever possible suitable opportunity arise, the government might accept or developers' proposals to incorporate POS in private developments, or government might require developers to do so. What is the purpose of doing so? It helps achieve integrated design and optimize land use, enable needed facilities to be provided to a public in a timely and integrated manner through private developments. It has made possible the provision of public open space in highly built-up areas, and you can see the examples here we're familiar with, the Hong Kong Station and Grand Millennium in Central and Western Districts. And there are also some examples in residential areas, but right in front of them, there are waterfront promenades. Nevertheless, in the past 2 years, the subject of public open space in private developments has attracted considerable public attention and controversy, and I do not need to mention the controversy started with Times Square in Causeway Bay. And at that time, when the controversy started, I wasn't working in the Development Bureau at all. I worked in Radio Television Hong Kong. If some of you may recall my faces being challenged in that part of the world. And therefore, I also, like you, have different perspective about how this issue evolves and being followed up in the community. And when the controversy develops, then people then realize public open space is not limited to commercial developments. There are actually many public open space in private residential developments, and it opens up a new host of issues for us to confront with and discuss. Overall, issues like renting out public open space for commercial activities. Some would challenge it and say it is privatizing public open space, but consultants and development bureau take a different view, and we can discuss that. Some owners, especially what we call the small flat owners of residential developments, consider it unfair for them to bear the recurring cost, and they also demand some control for security and operational reasons. That is understandable, more understandable when it appears in the residential developments. One of the more discussed and more well-known residential public open space is Metro Harbour View, and that is in the Tai Po Tsui area. There are also other residential developments like Xinwei Garden in Lam Tin, but because of different design, in some private residential developments, owners tend to understand that members of the public should have access, can have access to their public open space. But for Metro Harbour View, the way it is designed, it is very difficult for any member of the public. It's not easy at all to get to their above podium level public open space. And you can understand when the issue evolves, the small flat owners were a bit surprised that what they thought as a private space, a private garden, in fact should be open to the public. And that's history, that's what we have gone through. On the other hand, some civic groups argue for better use of such public open spaces for art display and performances. And indeed, such areas provide valuable venues for them to